We've been waiting so long, the season's finally here. So get up and cheer, cause Timberwolves Talk is here. No need to fear, the wait is now gone. So goodbye so long, cause Timberwolves Talk is on. Yeah, Timberwolves Talk is on. All right, guys. Welcome back to the Bass Hole Timberwolves Talk podcast, season 2, episode 7. Just thought I'd bless you there with the vocals. Thank you to everyone who liked our last video and got us to our like goal. Happened a lot faster than I thought, and we had to come through again. Now, yeah, let us know in the comments. What did you like better? Did you like the dance or did you like the song? Just let us know.
Yeah, I just want to, first of all, thank all of you guys for getting us to, I think it was 40 likes was our goal on this previous video. It actually does mean the world to us. These like goals are fun, and me and Peyton loves doing these little things for you guys.
Adds a little excitement to the podcast because,
it really does. Like, I loved listening to Peyton sing the Timberwolves Talk intro song. I think we can all agree that Luke does it a little bit better. We'll stick to the podcast and he'll stick to the singing. So, yeah. But the like goal for this video, Peyton and I were thinking, you guys can get this video to 50 likes, I will sing the national anthem
to start off the next video. Chris will sing. Did we say let's go 45? I think 50.
45. Okay, 45 is good. So if you guys can hit 45, I'll sing the national anthem, and then Peyton will get a 50 like goal up in the building. So keep hitting the like button, keep supporting, keep commenting. I guess another thing to touch on before we go right into the video is Out of Hibernation episode 2 is now out. If you guys are a Bears fan, know any Bears fans, want to watch the Bears suffer, go check out the video. Yeah. All right, Bass Hole Media, welcome back to the second episode.
It's a quick one too. It's easy listen. Yeah. So I think we should definitely start this episode off by talking about the preseason game. How much of that did you get a chance to watch?
So I watched the whole thing actually with my roommate Andrew. You guys might have seen him in the comments from time to time. Honestly, first impressions of the season, this team just looks like it's having more fun. If you guys saw Peyton on Twitter, I tweeted a couple things too. We were just really enjoying watching the team, have fun and play a little defense. Obviously, you can't look too much into the defensive aspect. Zion wasn't even playing today. Brandon Ingram had a terrible game. So yes, they did have a good defensive game when the starters and the, second team were in. But we got to keep that intensity up. It can't just be a first game type of deal. I will say though, I think Pat Bev did energize this team. And I do believe Taurean Prince is the key to that 3-and-D aspect.
Yeah, dude. First of all, I think it was an amazing game, except for the fourth quarter was a little rough watching that, but we had to remember that was the summer league team and Balmero. But yeah, dude, I think that the first half was amazing. Like everyone was going crazy. D'Lo played amazing in the first half. He went off. I think he had 16 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Ant played great defense. But I don't want to overreact in this game. I don't want to think that this is because I think it's going to be a learning process. I don't think you can go from how bad our defense was last year to as good as it was this game and just have that be a constant this season. It's definitely going to be ups and downs. And as fans, we got to be prepared for that. We can't think that every game is going to be as great as the first preseason game was.
Yeah, most definitely. If we play defense like that every single game, I guarantee you this team will be not a championship team, but this team can go a little bit into the playoffs if they can play defense like that. You hit on it too. I honestly do believe Deangelo Russell was the best player on the floor last night when he played. I don't think he could really be stopped. I think he was seeing the court really well. He was confident in his 3-point shot, which is, he's not been the greatest three-point shooter in his career, but seeing him just knock down those deep pull-up threes, I really, really enjoyed that. He hit his mid-rangers, and he looked like a playmaker, man. When he got into the paint, he knew how to slice the defense up with some of those bounce passes. He was hitting cutters. He was taking floaters. He really looked awesome. Same thing with Ant. I thought Ant was obviously the big story is the defense, but I think he just looked dominant on the inside when he got there. Obviously the shot wasn't dropping for him, but when he got out in the fast break or in the paint, obviously that's what he does really well. I don't think he was stopped at all. Cat obviously being Cat, hitting his shots, played better defense, I thought, today, protected the paint. I don't know why I'm saying today.
Yeah, why are you talking like this game happened yesterday and today? It was like 3 days ago.
3 days ago. Sorry,
like the
guys.
fifth time that's happened.
I'm hyped. I love talking about it. And I thought the dark horse candidate for player of the game was Taurean Prince. And Peyton and I had this discussion a few Timberwolves talks ago that who was going to be the most influential offseason acquisition.
Yep.
Peyton said Pat Bev, and I actually said Taurean Prince. And he was doubting my answer, honestly.
I still am.
After last game, can you see where I was coming from? Having him go 4 from 5 and just play good defense the whole game.
I can see where you're coming from, but I do still think that Pat Bev made a bigger impact, is making an overall bigger impact on our team. Because when you look at our defensive, dude, when Okogie, Pat Bev, McDaniels, and Prince are all out on the court together, are you kidding me?
That was a fun lineup. When they put them all together with Ant, dude, that was an insane lineup.
And then
up and down the floor.
And that makes Ant play so much harder on defense because you can't be out on the court with all those guys and not try on defense.
That is true. I feel like Pat Bev's one of those guys you can't disappoint.
Yeah, because he just has such high expectations. The dude got a tech in a preseason game. He's 1 for 1 on techs. And what you do got to remember is that when we play the Rockets on the 20th, I think, he can't play, if I'm not mistaken. He's suspended for that game.
Is he actually suspended?
I'm gonna look it up, but I'm 90. Actually, I'm 100% sure.
All right.
Remember
Peyton can look this up.
Yeah, remember when he pushed Chris Paul at the end of the playoffs?
Yes.
He got a 1-game suspension, and I guess he can play in the preseason. Yeah, he's suspended 1 game without pay. But
I think we will be okay. We probably got dealt maybe the worst team in the NBA for our first game. That's kind of how it was last year too. We were dealt the Pistons, who I would call the worst team in the NBA. But
we're good at scheduling.
Now that Harden's gone, honestly, it's kind of just they have a good little young core though. Actually, I do like Christian Wood. I thought he was a very cheap offseason acquisition that they hit on.
Yeah.
Kevin Porter Jr.
Anyone could have had him.
Peyton and I talked about last season about signing him, and Kevin Porter Jr. looks like he can be a number 2 option on a team. Maybe not a championship team. He looks like he can be a number 2 option. And if Jalen Green plays like he played in last game, man, I mean,
kind of reminds us of like what we were like looking like last year a little bit. Just a lot of potential. Not the same thing because we had Cat at least, but just like they have the blueprint to become a good team in the future, but right now they should not have high expectations because they're probably not going to have a great season.
And I also like Jay Sean Tate as well. I thought he was he's a very old rookie.
Yeah, I was going to say the 30-year-old rookie.
Played with D'Lo at Ohio State, but that team's not just going to be a walk in the park. If the Wolves don't show up, they're not going to win that game. Guaranteed. That's just every game in the NBA. I think they're going to walk in there, though, and I think they're going to make a 20-point win statement, and I think we're going to, get the show on the road. We got a couple tough games, coming up after the Rockets, though, so we got to win all the give-me's.
Are we home first game?
Let me pull up the schedule real quick.
Yeah, because I just want to – one thing that was probably my favorite part of having the season back was just listening to the announcers again, man. Like, I just love them. I'm blanking on their names. The moment you say their names, I'll remember. I'll be like, oh, of course.
Dave Benz and Jim Peterson.
Jim Peterson. Yeah, Jim Pete Hoops. But yeah, dude, they deserve the reason the Timberwolves should be good just because they deserve to commentate for a good team because they put up with so much crap over the years.
Yeah.
And just
oh, go ahead.
And just to hear their excitement about defense and all that, it was really refreshing to hear them again.
Yeah, I mean this schedule, I think is going to be a little tough. If you want to let me pull up the screen here, I can show them. But
just say it out loud because it messes with the format when we do that And I can
Gotcha,
I'll
gotcha.
put up a screenshot of it maybe.
Yeah, so we got the Rockets at home. I'm gonna give that. So we'll go first 10 games. Win loss.
Okay.
So we got the Rockets at home. I think we go 1-0.
Yep. Agree.
Pelicans at home as well. I think we go 2-0.
Is Zion back?
Yeah.
You still think we'll go? I think we can go 2-0 there. I agree. And then we play them again, right?
We have back-to-back Pelicans at home. I think we actually start the season 3-0. I do.
I wouldn't be surprised I wouldn't be mad if we lost one of those. If we started 2-1. If we lost one of those Pelican games, I think that's okay. I think we're a growing team. It's gonna happen. We're not gonna go undefeated.
I'm gonna give them 3-0. We'll go 3-0 for now.
It's fine.
And we play the defending champion Bucks away. I think that's our first real test. I'm gonna give them the loss actually on this one. I think it's gonna be a tough building to go into.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I agree with you there. And if we lose that game, it's not going to be the end of the world.
No,
it's okay.
We actually got the Nuggets next game at home. People would say this could just be a blowout. I think this will be one of those like really close games. I actually do. I think the Wolves will stay competitive at home for this one.
I think it'll kind of remind me of that game against the Jazz last year to start off the season.
Yeah, I agree.
So if we're going to be this team that everyone's saying and that me and you both have predicted, then we're going to have to start winning some of these games that we're not projected to win.
Do we give them a big win against the Nuggets at home? Close.
I think that's going to be the game that defines us as a team. One of the first games, if we can finally say yeah, we're here to play. If we win that game, I think we can kind of say, you know what?
All right, 4-1. That's looking good.
I'm 3-2.
Really good.
I'm 3-2. You're 4-1. I'm 3-2.
Who do you have you have a Pelicans loss?
I have a Pelicans loss. I think we're gonna have a slow start. I just one of those.
So then we have the Magic at home. And you guys all know what happened last season with the Cole Anthony game winner. We kind of choked the game. We were down cat. I think the Timberwolves, I think they take revenge on the Magic this game. I think they give them kind of a butt whooping.
What about Jalen? What about Jalen Suggs, the return to home?
Could be a problem, man. He really could.
Yeah, I get a dub though. I'll give us a dub.
Then we got 2 Clippers games, both at home. Do you think we steal one of those?
For sure. We have one, if not 2. I think that the Clippers without Pat Bev, I think they're going to be – I think what we gained from getting Pat Bev, they're going to be lacking from losing Pat Bev.
All right.
Simple math.
So as of the moment, I have them at 6-2 through the first 8 games.
And I mean, is that optimistic? Yes.
That's a little bit. Yeah, a little optimistic. That's erring on the possible side. And then the last 2 out of the 10, we got the Grizzlies away and the Warriors away. Do you think we get any of those?
I mean, the Grizzlies are, for some reason, they always play super hard against us. And I mean, you got Jarrett Culver coming off 2 for 2 up from threes. I mean, I think that's going to be a tough game. And I don't know. I don't know if we'll pull it out, but it'll be a good one for sure.
So maybe a really good start to the season would be 7-3.
I think so. If we start 7-3, I think that ESPN is going to start saying that we're title contenders.
You think so?
Maybe, dude. You know how fast they jump on the bandwagon.
They do, man. I think the biggest, theme of this season needs to be beating those fringe teams. We need to beat the Grizzlies. We can't just keep losing, 7 straight games to the Grizzlies. We're competing pretty much with the Pelicans, Grizzlies, and the Kings for that last 10th seed spot. I think all 3 of those teams, I think the Grizzlies will probably make it, but I think it's us 3 competing for that spot for sure. To who's going to hop in this next cycle. And I really do think we're the best team out of those 3, maybe include the Spurs too. I do think we're more talented than the Spurs.
Especially, dude, if you just looking at that preseason game, we were up by 20 at half. And
the Grizzlies were playing, the Pelicans were playing their starters.
Yeah, I mean, minus their franchise player, obviously, but Brandon Ingram is
disgruntled franchise player.
Yeah, dude, no, there's so many rumors about that guy that are just not true. It's always like from his uncle or something. It's like texting a source close to his uncle. I'm hearing that Zion's family wants him out of, it's just not reliable. But yeah, if we play anything like we did the first half of that first preseason game, most of the games in the season, it's a wrap, dude. We're gonna have a great season. But again, I also want to put a disclaimer out. That was the first preseason game.
Yeah.
You know, you can't. If we played terribly, I'd be saying the same thing. You can't put all the judgment on one game. Anthony Edwards might have looked better defensively that game, but does that mean he's going to be a completely better defensive player the whole season? No, I don't
And
think so.
look at Anthony Edwards didn't shoot too well that game. Does that mean he's not going to shoot well next season?
Exactly. You got to take everything with a grain of salt. One question I had: did you think Anthony Edwards looked taller out there? Because I honestly think he looked a little taller out there.
I think it does do him justice on that block. You saw the close view of his block on some of the Instagram accounts. I think he does look a little lanky.
It's his arms look longer for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put stock in, because it was, who tweeted that out? Was it Ant, or who was that, a Dane tweet or something that he grew?
No, he officially, like, it was an official that he grew. I was just saying, could you tell that he grew? Like, just from
that dunk on Brandon Ingram, like, he kind of just jumped a little bit and threw it. That wasn't even that like impressive for Ant. That was just easy.
And I was also gonna bring that up. Like, that was a cool dunk, but that definitely was not one of his best ever. I've seen him do better dunks for sure.
Yeah, that was just a transition dunk. You push Slenderman to the side and you dunk it down.
Chris could dunk on Slenderman.
I probably could.
Also in that game, I mean, I hate to keep going back to that game because it's just a preseason game. Doesn't really matter. But McDaniels struggled, but he really just had a lot of foul trouble. So we can't really. But he shot one shot. I don't know if that is good. I feel like that's kind of the role he's going to be playing this season. He's not going to be asked to play make that much.
Yeah, I think honestly, I wouldn't put too much stock into it. I thought the one shot he had was a missed layup, and he actually looked really good on that drive. I don't know if you saw it, but he did a little Euro step on the big man. He just kind of, I don't know if he got blocked or if he just missed it, but Jaden just didn't really look for a shot that game. I think he was more focused on defense. And the big thing we haven't even touched on yet was the rebounding. That was one of the worst rebounding performances I think I've ever seen by any team.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like the Pelicans got 3 shots every single time.
Yeah, dude. That happens though. Sometimes I feel like in basketball, like, if you give up one offensive rebound, there's most of the time you're going to give up 2, and then you're going to give up. They just pile on. Like, I remember that from when I used to play. Like, there'd be like, you just give up a lot of. But like, if you look at the rebounding numbers, they had 53, we had 49, so it wasn't actually that. When it all came down to it, it wasn't that lopsided, but. Yeah,
I thought Knight did a really good job at the end of the game.
Yeah, he looked good.
He just was a paint. He was a paint presence, and he grabbed every board. Like,
yeah, I actually think he will get some clock this season for sure.
I think he will make the team as well. I thought he was the best out of the summer league players in the action so far. I thought he really, really looked good.
Yeah, he looked like an actual NBA player. You know what I mean? Like, he's big.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about at the beginning of the season. Is like I saw when we traded for him, right? Or did we sign him?
I think we signed him.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of Hawks fans in the comments mad that they released him, and I was like, okay, like let me
they were all like,
I understand, man. He's got potential, and like, I don't know what he could honestly turn into. He's like 22 or 23, I believe, but like, I saw kind of like a discount Julius Randle a little bit.
I mean, is he a lefty?
He is a lefty.
Okay, well,
I mean,
that could be blurring your vision a little bit. Dude, here's a question for you. Is Zion a lefty or a righty?
Zion's a lefty.
He is a lefty. Okay. I always get that mixed up in my head.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, huge thing. If you guys were following along on Twitter, I think, what is our Twitter? Basshole_media.
Yep.
Two quick thing. Chris, I think we should each make personal Basshole Twitter accounts.
Okay.
I think so. I think that'll just make it easier. So we're not just like, it'll give more personality to the tweets, instead of it just being Basshole Media tweets, it'll be Chris at Basshole Media. And then when you go on your rants, I don't have to be held accountable for your when you flip out in the comments section.
You've been Mr. Twitter fingers lately, I feel
like. No,
I
was live tweeting the game, man, because I was trying.
No, once the season starts, my takes will come back.
Yeah, on your personal account. Huge thing though. Josh Okogie. He made 2 corner threes.
Dude, I was yelling, man. I couldn't not believe he hit both those threes.
They look nice too.
The form's always been nice.
Yeah, I agree. It's the confidence.
The confidence, man.
And it's a weird confidence too, because he doesn't lose shooting confidence. Okay, I got to reword that. He doesn't lose confidence in the fact that he will stop shooting. It's just he loses confidence in if he can make it. So he'll keep shooting, but he just knows it's not going to go in after he releases it, and it just doesn't help anyone.
It's a prayer.
It's a prayer, and it makes him almost unplayable at times. But if he can make what 30% of those corner threes, 35%, he can be a starter on this team.
I think a good clip would be 35% for him, honestly. Like, and I don't know what he was shooting last year. It had to have been high 20s. But
yeah, if he can shoot that, he should be a starter for the team because his defense is.
Honestly, I don't even really care about his shooting at the moment. Like, if he plays like he played in that last game, I have no issue starting him at the 3 at all.
Yeah, until he starts the 3 a few times, and then we're going to be like, all right, we can't have Okogie starting at the 3 anymore.
So Okogie's in a contract year. Like, if he like improves his 3-point percentage and playing good, like intense defense like he always does, I really would like to bring him back. Now, if he's looking for like 10 million, that's tough.
Unless he can shoot, unless he can start shooting again, then dude, his defense is that good.
Yeah, and like you also have to take into account Nas too.
Yeah, Nas. I feel like he's gonna be a player that might get away from us.
I think a team like the Rockets would offer Nas, a pretty decent sum to come play with them. And we just gotta soak up his talent while he's still here.
He seemed quiet. I guess we got to do these after the game a little quicker because I don't really remember the game as much. But it seemed like he had a quiet game, but he had 13 points. It looked like he.
We mentioned this before, but we'll be having the live stream during the first game, so you guys should definitely all tune into that. We want to answer all your questions. We want to have some fun when the game's happening. Hopefully, it's a pretty good game because we're playing the Rockets. I think it should be a good night. I don't want to assume anything as a Timberwolves fan, but we'll have fun on the stream no matter what, unless we're getting blown out.
Yeah, I think so the last preseason game is on the 14th. I keep looking over here because I got my calendar. I don't want you to think I'm just looking over into the abyss. But the last game is the 14th. We play the Nets at 6:30. I think we should try to do like a trial run of the live stream just to see how it goes because it's a preseason game after all. Maybe do like a half of that live streamed, and then so we'll all be ready for the first game on the 20th against the Rockets. One more thing, I want to tell you guys this so you guys can hold us accountable for this, but we want to do a recap of every single game the day after the game. And I think if we set this goal right here and we can stick to this, that this can just be a game changer for us as a channel and even for you guys as viewers, because if you don't have a chance to watch the game, listening to these little 8 to 10 minute breakdowns of the game can be very beneficial to you. You don't have to, you can look at the box score, but listen to us talk about it can give you a little bit better perspective. And how we're going to do this is Chris and I think we're going to rotate games or just however it works for our schedule. We're going to each take turns giving you the breakdowns, and it'll just be a solo podcast. We'll come on the screen, give you a breakdown. So yeah, I think that can be very beneficial for our channel as a whole.
Yeah, it'll be kind of like the Out of Hibernation videos if you guys have seen them. Just 5 to 10 minutes. Break down everything that's happening. Preview the next game. If you guys didn't get a chance to watch the game, perfect.
Yeah, exactly. And it'll be we won't cover any like the news in depth. We'll save that for our weekly Timberwolves Talk. It'll just be a thing on the side. It won't take away from any of the content we're currently putting out. It'll just be a little addition there. So I think that'll be really good. Next game, Nuggets. Nuggets on Friday, 8 p.m. What are your predictions? Preseason is very important.
I couldn't give you a prediction right now because I think more news needs to come out about minutes wise. But if the starters all play the same amount for each team, that's obviously going to be a close game. I think. I honestly think we're probably slightly less talented, but
well, is Murray back yet? Well, I don't think even if he was back, I don't think they would play him in a preseason game. At
No,
least
I know he's recovering.
not
I
many
don't I
minutes.
don't think he's back.
Okay. So, I mean, we should win that game, but obviously we played so well last game and we almost lost that game.
Yeah.
Like we were very close to blowing that game because we had our summer league squad in there. Oh, one last thing. I mean, we're forgetting about a few things from that game. Balmero, what'd you think?
I thought there wasn't much, 1 for 4. I thought he had a couple good passes,
I
but
thought he looked I didn't think he looked that good, if I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought he looked okay. I want to take that back. I don't want it just he wasn't too it was kind of like I mean, he had a great pass, two great passes. Other than that, though, like you said, it was a very quiet debut, I think.
yeah, I mean, like you got to think he's a mid to late first rounder in the NBA where, not a ton of those hit, honestly. It's his first ever NBA action. I wasn't expecting much, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I was just happy to even get him out on the court. Another thing, Noel didn't get. You said he's having a hamstring issue or something.
It was hamstring or quad, I thought. I think they're kind of just working him back in. He suffered it in the summer league, I want to say, end of it.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, man. So, we'll be back, I guess, next Thursday with the live stream. Hopefully, if we can get that figured out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.